All right, mi gente. So I found the problem. So I just want to give you a little quick rundown. So I isolated, meaning I just bypassed the thermostat here. It does turn on, but the circulator turns on, but it's not turning on. Why? Because it emits the temperature, and the temperature's not dropping because these zone valves are not opening. And these zone valves are not opening, because you guys can see there's a glitch. I don't know if you guys can see that it keeps turning on and off. So there is a call for heat, and what's going on is internally the board is shot. So it's not making the end switch. It's not telling the boiler to kick on. The motor is not getting 24 volts. I check it, it gets between 3 to 6.5, and it jumps 3.5 to 6.5, 3.5 to 6.5 consistently. Let me show you guys. Want to make it? So you guys can see, I'll put this on voltage. So I'll check right here the 24 volts. On that key. Want it, por favor. All right. So guys, we're gonna check 24 volts. So let's say it's only 24 volts with the yellow wire. It's a little bit uncomfortable to work in here. I'm gonna show you guys. So look at the voltage here. It's going bonkers. It's supposed to be consistently anywhere between like 24 to 26 volts, and you're not going to get enough voltage to open up the valve, and it's never going to open. So this valve gets 24 volts on the yellow wire, and when it gets 24 volts, it opens, and then it makes this two wire with the red wires there, the end switch. This end switch gets made right here from these two red wires internally. There's an end switch right here. You guys can see it on the board, and that's what sends the signal to the boiler to turn on the boiler. So if this end switch is not turning on, or what I can do, I can just bypass it from over here, right here, because the end switch right here. I just bypass it, and when I bypass, you can hear it clicks, and the circulator pump kicks on. But because the zone valves are not opening, the temperature or the water temperature inside the boiler is just not going to drop. So if it's not going to drop, there's no movement of water. It doesn't matter if the circulator pump is on. So it's not going to do anything until it maintains temperature. So meaning, like, if this boiler is maintaining, let's say, 180 degree water, 160 degree water, and it's not dropping, it's maintaining that temperature, it's because the circulating pump is either not working. In this case, I know it's working, it's turning on. It's just that the zone valves are closed, it's not moving that water, so it's going to be stagnant. The temperature is not going to change. Another thing I noticed that there was a bowl valve that was in the closed position. So I asked the owner, and he told me there was nobody messing around with it, but they just bought the house recently, so it's very possible somebody prior to them was messing around with the boiler. But long story short, the problem is here is they have a bad relay. It's a zone valve relay, and that's what controls the boiler, that's what controls the zone valve. So we need to get that relay installed. We're going to let them know right now how much it is to install one, and once we install that, then you won't have these issues. So right now, the only thing that's working is the indirect hot water, and the reason for that is because this relay is not connected to the hot water. It's a circulator pump, and it's an external circulator pump, and they have this wire separately. So that's the reason why they have hot water, but just have no heat.